So we have most of the area around the paw print carved away, and now we can actually start carving away all the excess inside of the leaf. I want to get this area hollowed out for our particular stamp impression. And to do that, you can move up in tools, you can move up to a larger size. And I'm going to do that now with the speedball one, and remember, we're removing the blade. Be careful. Okay, we're going to move up to a 2. And basically we follow along the lines that we've already created. And if you can see that area, all that needs to go. And at this point you can move up to an even larger blade if you want to risk it, or if you just want to be careful and cautious, stick with the little blade. But I'm going to work on this for a little bit. This is the part that takes the longest. So I'm going to work on this and then I'll be back. Okay, I've gone ahead and gotten the inside carved out. I used a larger blade to get the inside out, and then just for the tiny pieces, just in case, I use the smaller blade, like right there. And again, we've been working from the inside out, and at this point we're going to be doing the outline of the leaf. And we're using the smaller blade to do that. And it's just going to add an extra detail to the stamp. Okay. Remember, don't try to do it all in one swoop. And if you feel you're going too deep or too close to the edges of something, stop and just lift up. Don't lift up at an angle, just pick up and start again. As you can see, this area gets really narrow. And we got through it. Again, I'm lifting up, and I'm picking up pretty much where I left off. And if you think you missed a spot, don't stop and go back. Just keep going at what you do know, and you'll have a chance to clean that spot up once you're done carving. Okay. Now the outline of the leaf also had an outline, and to recreate that, you've carved around already, so now you just go around one more time with the smaller blade, just real faintly, but distinctly. That way it has that double impression look to it. Okay, we got the outline done, and now we're about to do the hardest part, which are the letters. So with the letters, you're going to want to use the smallest little carving tool you have available, and it's just going to be slow and steady. And again, with the letters, since they're so small, you're going to want to work from the inside out, just in case you make a mistake. Now, for the O right here, and probably for the D, you can do a little trick. You can try to hollow it out this way by pointing the blade down and then making a circle. Okay. And now you can kind of see there's a hole right there. So now we're going to do the outside of the O. This actually says LO4D for leftovers for dinner. And when you're carving, you may find that when you're using words and you're using your own handwriting, you might need to exaggerate certain letters. Like for me, I'm definitely going to need to exaggerate this L a bit so it looks like an L. So I'm actually going to need to make it longer, like that. A lot of times you want to bring the stamp really close to you so you can see it better. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. I've got everything cleared off and sectioned off pretty much, and now it's time to actually start clearing out all this excess right here. Now to clear off the excess, since I don't want to stamp with this big old piece, the first thing I'm going to do is cut. Cut off this top part since I don't really need it. Okay, and if you want, you can cut the edges like that. And you can keep cutting if you want, but if you'd like a nice big even surface to help press down your stamp, to make a nice clean stamp, you'll leave some there. So now that we've done that, what we can do is change out our blades. There we go. And we can move all the way up to a number 5 blade. But first, before we do that, we want to make sure that these letters stay safe. So we're going to try to clear a lot of this space out before we attack this whole thing with the big blade. So let me just do that real quick. Alright, well, that's pretty much how you do that. You're going to want to clear out the space near the really fragile or delicate places like letters or words first before you start hacking away. So, and use a smaller blade when you do that. Okay, but for the actual clearing away the excess space, what you're going to do is you're going to take the larger blade and you're going to find an area, and you're going to start from that area of the carved stamp and work outward. So tighten this up a bit. I'm going to start here, press down, and move outward away from it. And this is going to help the actual stamp area stand out against everything else. And we're back, and we've got our stamp completely carved out and cleaned out. At this point, what I like to do is I'll take a makeup brush and I'll brush off any excess that might be in there. Then I'll look at it kind of hard to see if I missed any spots, and I think I did. Now, at this point, you can either wipe it clean with some stamp cleaner, like a cotton ball and some stamp cleaner, or you can go ahead and do a trial test stamp. Okay, at this point we have our stamp completely carved out and cut up and clean up. We cut around the edges, and now we're test stamping it. So basically we're test stamping it to make sure we didn't have any areas that needed to be cleaned up or had some excess stuff in them. So the way you do that is basically you have a clean working area and just get a scrap piece of paper and some ink and apply the ink generously. Now from here, just by putting the ink on, you should be able to see areas that need to be cleaned up. Like right there. And you just pick those pieces up and you stamp. So there you have it. Your little hand carved stamp and your little test stamps. From here you can make decisions if you need to change anything or clean anything up. But other than that, you're good to go, and you've got your first hand-carved stamp. So from here, you can use this in letterboxing or your own arts and crafts, or just, you know, if you like to carve stamps just for the heck of it and give it to friends. But the next little video I'm going to do, it's going to be a little quicker. We're basically going to do the same thing, but instead we're going to use an eraser from the dollar store, from this pack. So let me know what you think. If you have any questions or suggestions, put them in the comment field below, and thanks for watching.